So now we're going to find the simplest form of each expression. So this is the direction. We're going to use a definition of negative exponents, and then we're going to simplify. So now we have no problem of 5 and 8 to the third power, but the problem is b to the negative second power. Some people say, oh, it's going to be negative 2b, which is not true. It's not negative number. This negative in the exponents means that it tells you to flip the number or expression. So what is the leftover? We have b and 2, because I already used this negative in the exponents to flip the number. So now you just pick up the leftovers, b to the second power, b to the second power. So now you just, simplify this to 1 over b to the second power. So I'm going to just add it next to the expression I already have, b 1 over b to the third power, right? So now let's simplify this. So as we know that if you have just like a variable in number, like whole number, you can change it to over 1, right? So now I'm going to multiply the numerators, which is 5 8 cubed over, and I'm going to multiply the bottom number, which is b cubed. So we're good. We just simplified the expression. We just get rid of all the negative exponents into positive. So the next one, it's 1 over x to the negative fifth power. Okay, so now I'm going to rewrite using a division symbol. Okay, so 1 divided by, because it says 1 divided by x to the negative fifth power. And let's simplify this one. Let's get rid of this negative symbol. So negative in the exponents. So x negative fifth. So you see negative here, which means flip 1 over. And then the leftover, which is x to the fifth. X to the fifth. So now everything should be exactly the same. So I'm going to just put this guy into the expression. I'm going to just substitute it for x to the negative fifth. It's going to be 1 over x to the fifth. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do keep, change, and flip to get rid of this division. So 1 times by, you flip it, which is x to the fifth power. So what's the answer? X to the fifth. We just simplified it. So let's find the simplest form of each expression. So now if you see negative in the exponents, what are you going to do? You're going to flip the entire expression. And what's the leftover after you use a negative in the exponents? X to the ninth. We're good. And we need to change this to division sign, use a division sign. 1 divided by n to the negative third. Don't do anything yet. You just deal with 1 divided by the expression. 1 divided by. Now, let's just rewrite this expression. So n to the negative third power is, there is negative here, so you're going to flip it. And you're going to put the leftovers, the denominator, n to the third. So I'm going to just put 1 over n to the third. This is the exact same expression. So now, and I'm going to do keep, change, and flip. Keep, change, and you flip it. You flip it. So it's going to be n to the third power. Over 1, but you don't need to write it. So the answer should be n to the third power. So these are the answer, and this is the answer. And what about 4? 4 times by c to the negative third and b. If you simplify the middle one, then you're good to go. And c to the negative third power, you see the negative here, so it's going to be 1 over. And I'm going to just put the leftovers, because I didn't use it yet, to the denominator, c to the third. So it's going to be 1 over c to the third. And you know this, the whole number, you can change it to over 1 over 1. So let's just multiply all the numbers on the top for 1b, which is 4b, and 1c squared 1. It is c cubed, not c squared. Okay, so now this is going to be the answer. And 2 and b, d, it's quite similar question. I'm going to change it to 2 divided by 2 divided by a to the negative third power. And 2 divided by, let's just change this guy to exponents with the positive exponents. So now negative 1 over, and leftovers a to the third. It goes to the bottom. So let me just put 1 over a to the third. So now what you're going to do is keep, change, and flip, because you have division and fraction. You're going to divide by fraction, so it's annoying. So let me just change it to 2, keep, change, and you're going to flip these two. So it's going to be a cubed over 1. But you don't, over 1 doesn't do anything. So it's going to be 2a cubed. If you have this, you're good to go. Now let's do e. Okay, so now I'm going to just put division. I'm going to just use division symbol. N to the negative fifth power divided by m squared. Don't panic. You can just go step by step. And we know that n to the negative fifth power, negative means 1 over, right? 1 over, and then you put the leftover n to the fifth divided by m squared. And now let's do keep, change, change. Keep, change, and I'll flip. So it's going to be keep, change, and you're going to flip this guy, m squared over 1. So it's going to be 1 over m squared. So if you multiply these two, it's going to be 1 over n fifth m squared. You can just multiply these two, which means you can just put them together. Then if you have this on the paper, you're good to go. This kind of questions looks really difficult, but which is not. So let's just simplify first, and then we're going to evaluate this expression when s is this and when t is this. So let's just simplify. We all know how to do this. All right, so now I'm going to keep 3s cubed. And if you change this guy, now we're an expert, so you can do 1 over t squared. If you still don't know, you have to go back to the beginning of the video clip, and then you should redo again. All right, so now let me just, I'm going to put over 1 and 3s cubed over t squared. We just simplified this, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to plug in. So now let's do this. Okay, so 3s cubed, and I'm going to put t squared. So what is s? S is 2. So I'm going to put 2 here, 2. And t, negative 3. I'm going to put it here, negative 3. So let's simplify this. So 3 times 2 to the negative third power, which is 3 times by 8, and negative 3 times by negative 3 squared, which is negative 3 times by negative 3. So if you simplify this, it's going to be 24 over, what is negative 3 times by negative 3? Negative 6? Positive 9. So if you simplify, because it's not a simplest form, let's simplify. I'm going to do divided by 3. Divided by 3. So the answer is going to be 8 over 3. You're good to go. So first thing you need to do is you have to simplify the expressions, okay? So I'm going to share your work. And before I give the answers, I need you to try by yourself the 2 questions at the bottom. And let's review this together in a couple of minutes. Don't forget, you better simplify the expression first and then plug in the numbers.